Despite their small size, the Maltese islands boast a long and fascinating history that reflects the diverse cultures which have animated their shores over the centuries. With a warm welcome always awaiting visitors, the islands are popular holiday destinations that also draw many film productions thanks to their gorgeous Mediterranean landscapes. I'm not a film producer, but an avid scuba diver, longing to see where Hubert will be taking me for my next dive. Hi again. I've booked another dive with you today. Where are we going?
Today we are going to Gozo.
Okay.
To the other island, okay? And we will go and dive the Carwella.
Oh, great, and wreck. Perfect.
Yes, slightly deeper than what we have done before.
Okay.
And what we will do is today we're a little bit of a bigger group, so we'll go with our hardboard.
Okay, great.
So it's
still a boat dive.
Yes, with the lift at the back, so nice and easy.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's go. For this boat dive, Hubert had a few more divers coming along. With fewer divers than what the boat can carry, there was ample space to spread out. Within half an hour from leaving the Tunnynet jetty in Menleha Bay, we bypass Camino and reach the south coast of Gozo. With all other dive centre vans parked, it looks like we will not be alone diving the Carwella.
Carwella and Camino Land, they are two wrecks on the south of Gozo. They've been scuttled in 2006 for divers as an artificial reefs.
Hubert ties his boat to the yellow special marker buoy, which floats above the wreck. Before we jump into the water, Hubert gives a short brief for his dive.
Carwella sits on a sandy bottom at a depth of 42 meters.
Anxious to get some good underwater footage of this wreck, we quickly descend.
Carwella is about 48 meters in length. It is very safe to penetrate, as has been specifically prepared for divers. It is probably the best wreck dive in Gozo.
This is an easy wreck dive. All I had to do was follow Hubert. We passed through the passengers' cabins. We penetrated down into the next deck following the staircase. There are plenty of entry and exit points found all over and around this wreck, making this wreck hazard-free.
Carwella and Camino Land, they are about 60 meters apart. You can do them on one dive, but my suggestion is that you will do one dive on the Carwella and one dive on the Camino Land.
Most of the dive is in 35 meters of water. Bottom times soon pile up, and before getting back onto the boat, some decompression stops become obligatory.
during the diving season, there will be 2 special marker buoys indicating where the wrecks are.
Carwella was my first wreck dive planned during my diving holiday in Malta, and it's certainly not going to be my last.
If you access the wrecks from shore, there is a shallow reef at the end of the dive where you can do your decompression much easier.
Going all the way to Gozo's south coast and back to base in Malta Bay may take the good part of the morning. But I still have the rest of the afternoon to explore some of Malta's best known tourist attractions. An ideal family outing, best to visit if you rent a car. Also known as a silent city, this beautifully preserved medieval town used to be Malta's capital. Welcome to Mdina. Winding streets, charming alleyways and panoramic views over the bastions add up to a peaceful and relaxing atmosphere, where visitors can breathe in history and tradition at every turn. Now a quiet neighbourhood, Mdina presents a mix of Norman and Baroque architecture. And is home to many palaces. It's a living museum that bears witness to the legacy of the Order of the St. John. And at the heart of the city, there awaits a gem which dates back to the 17th century. The large and striking cathedral dedicated to the conversion of St. Paul. This majestic cathedral is located in the main square, where it is said that St. Paul converted the first bishop of Malta to Christianity. Though beautiful at any time of day, there are those who say that the silent city's beauty is best viewed after dark. Certainly, a stroll through Mdina's charming streets evokes great fascination. It's as though the ancient walls retain a hint of some secret that's been swallowed up by time. On the suburb of Mdina, the town of Rabat has its own charms and hidden secrets. Beneath St. Paul's Church is a mystical grotto, said to have hidden the saint from Roman persecution after he was shipwrecked in Malta. The nearby catacombs of St. Paul and St. Agatha meanwhile offer a glimpse into the burial rituals of the Roman period. And at the Domus Romana, one can still view some of the oldest mosaics in the Western Mediterranean. One of the most picturesque views on the Maltese islands are the famous Dingley Cliffs. At 253 meters above sea level, the lookout point behind the charming chapel dedicated to Saint Mary Magdalene marks the highest point on the Maltese islands. Breathtaking views of wide terraced fields and the tiny island of Filfla out in an open sea make this location especially popular with lovers who often gather to watch the sunset over Malta. For those who love anything to do with aviation, a visit to the Aviation Museum in Ta'ali, situated at the heel of Mdina, is worth a visit. housed within its three main hangars, this was the site of the former Royal Air Force airfield during World War II. The museum covers the history of aviation in Malta with World War II aircraft, fighter jets, general aircraft and engines on display. The museum is also involved in the preservation and restoration of aircrafts, some of which are in airworthy condition today. Some of the World War II aircrafts on display have been actually rebuilt from the remains that were found underwater off the Maltese islands. With so much to discover both above and below water, I'm off to see what other dive sites I could have explored with Hubert on the south coast of Gozo, not far from the Carwella wreck dive. The Carwella was an amazing dive today. I'm loving the wreck diving. Is there any other wreck close by?
Yes, close by we have another two wrecks. We have the Comino land and we have the Schlendi. Basically the Carwella is the one in the middle. So if you go towards the right, you will find the Comino land, okay? Depth-wise, almost the same, around 40 meters to the bottom and 35 to the deck. Penetration-wise, we can do as well, similar to the Carwella, where we can go just in the main deck, and then we go up and we do the cabin where the helm, basically, where they used to drive the wreck. Not as beautiful as the Carwella, because the Carwella you have those staircase where everyone takes photos through them, and Comino land doesn't have that. From the Carwella, you can do basically Carwella and Comino land in one go, but you need to have either technical diving for that, because of course you're going to enter into a lot of deco. So normally we do it with either rebreathers or twin sets where we have deco cylinders and we stretch it along. Preferably you do it in two dives, because the Carwella you have quite a lot of time to spend on it, as well as the Comino land. So both of them, they have their own time to spend. Schlendi, unfortunately, it's an upside down wreck, so you don't have much where you can do, because all what you're going to see is just the hull of the wreck. So you go up and down through it. Depth-wise it's slightly more deeper, so it starts from 40, it goes down to 45, and you come basically up. So not much to do.
Okay, so you would need to have a deep speciality to be able to do these wrecks?
Yes, you need to have the deep speciality, and preferably you have the wreck dive speciality, so we can enter through the Carwella and through the Comino.
Okay. And I noticed a lot of cars and vans on the shore. Is it normally done from shore or from boat?
They do it from boat. Us, because we are from Malta, obviously we prefer to do it by boat, because it will be easier for us, because to do it from shore you need to walk from up there all the way down to shore, so it's quite a long way. So we prefer to do it by boat.
Okay, great. And what about Imjarashini? I heard that that's a beautiful dive as well.
Yes, Imjarashini is very close by. In fact, sometimes we do by boat as well ourselves. It is very easy dive, perfect for beginners. A lot of dive centers, in fact, in Gozo, they use it as well for the SDs and for open water divers. So nice dive. Marine life, for me, once you tell me Imjarashini, it's a macro heaven, because there is seahorses, I don't know, you mention it, and all small stuff, you will find it in Imjarashini, nudie branches, pipefish, needlefish, you name it, and you'll find it over here. There's a small cave as well in Mjarashini. Not big, but quite nice. But mainly the highlight of this dive is sand bottom, and you just go along and look for stuff. It gets deep once you start moving further out. I mean, Mjarashini, you start from 0 to 18, 20 meters max in the bay. Once you start going further out, then you find the drop-off, but it's a really long swim.
Okay, so it's more a place for photography and
for macro. For macro,
okay,
yes.
Great. And I heard that there's a dive site called the Middle Finger. I don't know much about it.
Yes, Middle Finger is basically between Mjarashini and the Carwella. It's a really beautiful dive. They call it the Middle Finger because there is this massive pinnacle. It comes out from the blue, so maximum depth it's about 90 meters plus down there, and it just comes all the way up to around 15-12 meters on the top part of it. You can do it from shore as well. Same story, you have a little bit of a swim. We normally anchor on the reef on the inside because we do it normally by boat, because either we do Carwella and then we do Middle Finger in second dive. So we anchor at the shore and close to shore, and then we just follow the reef, cross to this pinnacle, go around the pinnacle for several times, because same story on the Middle Finger we see a lot of macro stuff like Moronil, nudie branches and so on. But the highlight is the top part of it, because you see a lot of fish and you get a lot of other fish hunting the small fish. So you get a lot of barracudas, jacks, and other pelagical fish try to hunt the small ones.
Is it safe in terms of currents and?
Normally we don't have currents around that area, but obviously you need to have really good buoyancy, because as we said, it's a pinnacle that comes from 90 plus meters all the way shallow. So we'll try to have good divers for this one. It's not that it is suitable for beginners, but you need to really be close to your instructor, so basically try to avoid any problems.
Well, it sounds like a really fun day out. I can't wait to come back next time. Thank you so much for the dives.
I look forward for it.
Thank you. It's been an absolutely packed excursion, and I've managed to see some of the most beautiful sights that the Maltese Islands have to offer. I have covered so much ground in gorgeous sun-drenched locations and seen wonderful sights that it never felt tiring. Just a word of advice: when venturing to this side of the world, never forget to pack your sun cream and a very big hat.